G'day folks, welcome back to Pax Hispanica. We are at the start of the third turn, so I click the next turn button and we have to place Cocoa and Indigo, but I'll follow the sequence of play, make sure I'm doing this all in the right order. Okay, so advance the parrot, perform omens at the start of the indicated year. No omens at the start of this year. I've just noticed, so there are these omen tokens. Maybe they are a reminder, malaria, so yeah. Each citizen labour. Yeah, so I don't know if they're reminders. They do fit there. I wonder if perform omens, see glossary at the start of their indicated year. So I think they're fixed, but just that little bag there makes me think. So these events occur, they are blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, they're fixed. I'm not doing anything wrong, all good. Okay, so there are no omens for the next 2 years. Instead, as I said, we displace Cocoa and Indigo. Okay, so hold on. Update player order. Okay, player order proceeds left to right during peace, and we are still in the Pax Hispanica. Arrange figures from most loyal to least loyal. Most loyal. The English are the most loyal, so they go first. Then we've got a tie, and during a tie between the Spanish and the French, we retain previous order. And then we've got the Dutch and the Curlanders, and they retain their current order as well. So you can see here, most loyal first, equal tied second, equal tied last. Okay. And what else? What else? Cathedral refresh, repopulate each vacant cathedral. None of that happening. Labour acquisition to avoid die-off of colonies. Each vacant colony, so we do the English first. Well, they only have one colony and it's populated. Then we do the French, they have a colony which is populated. Then we do the Spanish. Okay, so this colony populates. And this colony populates. I believe that's it for the Spanish. Then we get to the Dutch. Now they built these new colonies and they picked these locations so they could populate them. Okay, and they're done. And then the Curlanders do the same. They picked that colony so they could populate it, so they would not make the mistake they made on that first turn. Now, if a colony is unable to acquire labour, every colony was, because we knew what we were doing this time around. So that's that's good, we're learning. Now, goods placement, to pick the two goods. What I say it was, Indigo and Cocoa. So, find the two land zones that to pick these goods and place a chest. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, so we place, you produce some cocoa, you produce some cocoa, Indigo is over here, you produce some indigo, you produce some indigo. And then they go into there. Now in the game, it's just a case of moving the little objects around. What this actually represents is the Spanish, English and French working the indigenous populations to their deaths. So really grim, we'll flip that over. There we go, it sits nicely. Yeah, really grim theme. And what do we got here? We got sugar. Ooh, so next turn, the sugar. No, not next turn. Where's sugar? It's not happening. Where is sugar? It's not happening for a while. It happens way up here. The 1630s. Okay, not to worry. Poor Dutch will have to wait a bit. Gives them an opportunity to get some ships out and about. That's it. There are no citizens. Otherwise, those productions would give me the owners a coin as well. So with that done, we go to the auction year. And in turn order, starting with the English, they may initiate an auction. Okay, so the English are going first. And what do they want to do? They have a privateer. So they'd have first choice. They would love to be able to play a card which moves, look at this. Oh, that moves them to the left. Ooh, so what are the English trying to do? They want to have a peerage. Well, this is it a peerage? That says cancel the Duke. So cancel coin sway peerage. Move the top disc from your playmat sway column to cover this icon on the royalty card in peerage. Okay, I need to check what peerage. How to actually get peerage, because that looks like, well, this is the royal auction, so I'm guessing this is where the peerage cards are. This is where I pick up a peerage, but I don't actually know. Peerage. Wow, there's a lot of peerage rules. Okay, so choosing a sway or reach peerage action. Okay, so they both look pretty similar. That's sway peerage. The Bible icon, which isn't shown, that's not the one I'm talking about. It looks like this, is the reach peerage. It confers a title or nobility and honour, along with a peerage ability. This anchors the royalty card and stores a disc or Bible token on the card. Up to 3 royalty cards can be stored. A special rule printed on your anchored royalty card, which becomes active for you after you anchor peerage. This is a peerage ability. So it's a special rule. Any of your actions on your Haven card are possible, even if not Callow. Right, understood. So this is a special ability, which doesn't sound that exciting. Any of your actions on Haven cards are possible. Normally, you need to be in Callow to undertake some of these actions, romance, marriage, or sword fighting. So basically, it means you could do a sword fight if you're not Callow. You generally don't, I mean, would you want to? I don't know. All right, so this is what the English want. They want a peerage or a relic. So they do want a peerage. So they do kind of want an auction. I guess, is there a guarantee? I think there's going to be a guarantee, right? If I can search through the deck. I can't search through the deck, it won't let me. Sometimes decks can be searched. Not this one. Okay. Peerage abilities vary quite a lot. This is the Duke, which is probably seems like the worst action. It says least loyal. So where it says Duke least loyal, that's also summarised. But I don't actually know what that means. To be qualified to anchor a peerage, your figure must be the most extreme in the specified direction. Okay, so to be a Duke, I must be the least loyal, which seems unusual. Okay, which means I have to be up here to anchor it. This is called peerage qualification. That's just to anchor the peerage. So definitely can't do the Duke. It seems as though these peerages maybe they might be hard to actually, easy to grab or auction, but hard to achieve. Look, as the English, I do want to look at production. So we've got some of this coming up and some of that. It looks like tobacco and salt. Okay, well, salt's a bad idea. And tobacco is not a great idea either because there are no colonies out there. All right, so maybe we look at missionary, get some missions out there. This one in particular, okay, let me place a Bible under a tribal site. And then it's got literacy. Choose any vista, add a cathedral to it, and convert its indigenous. Okay, so I'm going to Bible and then indigenous. That might be good for the English. It will move them to the left, which is a midlife crisis. I've already forgotten what midlife crisis does. It's not really summarized on the summary sheet. Yep, there's that. Other options are there. More colonies. The colonies are being claimed quite quickly. I could build more colonies here, but then, okay, so there's a lot of, the Dutch have claimed one. I could build another one here and claim those labourers. But you know what? Being able to have a mission would be great. So I'm gonna auction this. All right, yeah, we'll see how we go. All right, so the English are saying, we're going to option this card off. And, okay, so we are going to offer 2. No one else. I mean, the Spanish. Yeah, they'd love to. Everyone is interested, but no one wants to bid more than 3, which means that the English are going to win that bid, pay their 2, secure that card, and they're done. We then go to the French player, and I think the French are in pretty similar position. I think they'd like to get some more people out there. They're hanging around the middle, so they could go in any direction. But I think, here we go. Ooh, voodoo is from the pool, add an indigenous to the vacant tribal site of your choice. So they could add it over here, which would give them enough. So they definitely want that. So they are going to auction this card. Yep. Okay, and they've got 2, so they'll pay 2. Nobody, the Courlanders are the only ones that could bid them. Oh no, the Spanish can bid 4, but they're not inclined to. So the French will pay their 2. This is meant to be secret bids, but we can pretty easily go around. Because the active player wins ties, yeah, they have to. Somebody else would have to bid 3. So the Courlanders or the Spanish would have to bid 3 for that card, and they don't want to. So the Spanish are done. The French are done. Now we get to the Spanish, and what do the Spanish want to do? I think establish some more missions as well. Everyone's kind of going into mission mode as I kind of realise what needs to happen. All right, so this is definitely a Bible. Literacy, and this is a slave revolt. Discard indigenous from a colony to add a slave rebel. Well, the Spanish, where are they? They want more relics. One more relic, and they are. And where were the relics? I think they were in. I have a feeling they were in this deck. Well, the Spanish don't need more colonies. What they need is more people, really. So maybe we'll go digging. So I'm going to dig. I don't know what it's going to be. And we're going to bid 2. Okay, and the Courlanders are the only ones who can beat us with their 3, but they're not inclined at all. So we'll pay our 2, and we'll secretly look at that card. Oh, it's not good. Add indigenous to the vacant. Actually, it's not bad. Add an indigenous to the vacant tribal site of your choice. So I could pick like areas like here, where only I have a colony. There's only one colony here. It's only me. Only I can take advantage of that. Likewise, I could do it here, and I can do it up in Cuba with the back. No, there's no vacant. So I've got options there. That's not so bad. It's not a great card. What's the nudge? Nudging me north, which is not great. Maybe, but not so bad either. Maybe I should have looked at that first. This is nudging me west. Anyway, Spanish are done. The Dutch. Okay, so the Dutch have a ship. Where are the Dutch? Here they are. They have a ship. The Conquistador. What do they want to do? They are trying to, this is what they need to win the game. So they are trying to have a peerage relic and a number of tax rebels. So they want rebellions to happen, this kind of thing. And they're the least loyal. So they would be able to play that. So they're going to bid for this, and they're only going to bid 1. If someone wants to bid more than that for that card, they can go ahead. Everyone has the option. The Spanish are like, no. They don't know what the Dutch are bidding at the time, but they're not inclined to bid more than 1. Even the Courlanders kind of like this card, but they also like having their money. I don't think they'd bid more than 2 for that, because then they'd only have 1 on their turn. So the Dutch will bid their 1, pay their 1, win that card. Okay. Which leads us to the Courlanders, who still, they have a colony now, but now they need a ship. So they are going to, here we go, they're going to grab this. They need to be most loyal. So this card will give them a ship, Conquistador, and a revolt, and what is that again? Excommunication, which is a tough one. This one, they could get the Merchant Guild, they get a free ship, and they can get something else. So they're going to bid this, Royal Auction. I think that's quite an attractive one, which people might bid on. So they'll bid 2. No, not enough money. The Spanish have 2, which, let's say they bid on it, but the Courlanders win ties. So the Courlanders win that card. Which, okay, so this is their peerage. But they're not playing the card yet. But they will soon. Okay, now. Where are we? What's going on? That's it. Turns over. So we're already, that was auction, now play. All right. Get to the play side. Sequence of play, auctions done, play year. Reveal a card, play it. Starting with the English. Okay, so the English want some missions. So they reveal this card. They're happy to suffer a midlife crisis. Am I going to remind myself what a midlife crisis does? Midlife crisis, blah, blah, blah. This moves your figure to the unoccupied callow space of your choice. Right. To the unoccupied callow space of my choice. So I'd lose, in fact, my royalist position, unless I move out on the left, on the right here, and then the French might go first. Look, doesn't matter. We will nudge off into a midlife crisis. Then we move to a callow space of our choice. You know, we could take the place. If I do that and then sword fight the Dutch. Actually, no, I'm going to go here, and then I'll explain what I'm going to do in a moment. So now the Bible action, and this is place your Bible. Here we go, placing my first English Bible. As I say, place your Bible under in Indigenous at a tribal site. So this is the tribal site, this is the Indigenous. He's going to stand there. And this is called a vista. A tribal site and a Bible. Okay. Then they have got 2 literacy. Choose any visitor. They've just done that, created that. Add a cathedral to it. So we now have our first cathedral, which is going to be an English cathedral, and convert its Indigenous into a citizen of my colour. So we have our first citizens. I keep trying to throw them in this bag. It's meant to be a bag where you can actually, they should be like going in there, but they just don't want to. There we go. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so now we have our cathedral, and I understand this might replenish, which will help the English cocoa industry, which is great because we've got more cocoa coming up in 1614. All right, so that's that. Now I can do it. I can only do 2 actions on the cards. I can't do the 3rd action. This is a mission. We put that in the discard mission. Done. But I have some cards in my hand, and I'm going to sword fight. I don't know what they've got in their cards, but I want to sword fight them. Because I can do this, so I can go hiya, hiya. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that. Right, done. No, actually, instead of playing that card, what was it? I'll play this card. Right, I'll discard it in a moment. This will let me sword fight the French. So we swap places. I'm still callow. What that does is it shifts the French over to the right, out of my way, and then I'll do the romance and get married on the royalist track. Voila. Okay, so what that does is it just moves the French out of the way so they can't sword fight me now. I don't know what card they've got. I didn't look, from an English perspective, we haven't been looking at the other nudges, but it just gives us a bit of space on this royalist track. So the Spanish and the English are pretty happy there. All right, and I've got 2 cards left, which I'll hold on to. So they are happy with what they've done. Yep. Now that was, what's going on? That was the English. Now the French. All right, here we go. They are also playing a Bible. Okay. Okay, so play a Bible under an indigenous at a tribal site. So again, the French are here, so they're going to place them there. Okay, now on this card also, I can either add an indigenous to a vacant tribal site, here for example. I can do 2 actions, or choose a, place a Bible. Yep, do that. I can either replenish this or add the cathedral. I like the idea of adding a cathedral, so we do that, and they become French. Voila! Right, we're starting to establish these cathedrals, and we're getting citizens onto the map, which I think would help generate income. They may have other bonuses as well. Okay, so that is done. The mission is, nudge the French up 1. The French actually go to there, and they're happy. They need 1 peerage or relic and no slaves on the map. Right, all these white things in colonies. So it's almost a long game for the missionary. They need to, that's going to be tough for them to actually drive. Yeah, interesting. Okay, what else can the French do? They don't want to do anything else. They can't really anyway, so they're done. Now we get to the Spanish. First of all, they nudge up. Okay. Yep, that's fine. We'll nudge up. I'll explain why it's fine in a moment. We place a new thinger on the map. What's being produced? So what's next? Next up, we've got this and tobacco. So there are no people here. So we'll go for tobacco. Yeah, up here. All right. So that happens. That happens. Okay, where is it? And then voodoo, replenish. So their card doesn't have, and they can do 3 things because they have 3 sway. So they can do voodoo twice, and that's a mission. So they've nudged up, build a new thing. They're going to conduct voodoo twice. So I know I've got salt coming up. So I'm going to play that. Send him up there. That's 1 of the 2 of the 3. So 1, 2. I've got 1 more to go. Where? Maybe here. Where else have the Spanish? What else is coming up? I guess. So that's gonna be, yep, salt, which is fine, and salt and tobacco. And there's only the 1 tobacco area, so I don't need to worry too much about that. And then what's coming up? Cocoa and maybe this one. But then the English might grab it. Cocoa and Pearl, the Pearl Coast. I've already got people there, that's fine. Then we've got Quicksilver coming up. I've got people there. And Silver, I've got people up there. So we're settled there. How about this one? Just in case do I really want to help? Oh, look, this. When's Indigo? Yeah, we'll put it here. Okay, because the French have got their cathedral. Maybe we can, do that. Okay. So they're done. They did 3 things on that card, and they nudged up. Now they will do a romance, and this lets them marry here. Well, yeah, fall in love, whatever. That's done. So now they are back on the Buccaneer track. They need these peerages or relics. Okay, yeah, it's interesting, like multiple little moving parts. And that should be, oh no, now the Dutch. Okay, so where are the Dutch? Right in front of me here. They are going to play their thing. Now they are tied for least loyal. I think that's fine. So they can play this and nudge 1 to the left. Okay, so they nudge them out of the way, which is okay. Right, to be able to play this, I think they have to be the least loyal, which means that they can play any actions on Haven cards, even if they're not Callow. They only have a sway of 2, so they can do 2 more things. This is the apostasy. So basically, I misread this on the first turn. It depicts 2 nudge icons, okay, and players with cards of both on their playmat. In other words, here's a ship. If I also had the cross, I would discard. I'd pick one of those icons, and players would have to discard. But there's no problem at all. What I can do is a tax revolt. Oh no, I can't actually. Discard your citizen from the map. Discard your citizen from the map. Well, I don't have any citizens on the map. So I can't do a tax result. So not a lot happening for the Dutch. And they have some pretty garbage cards too. So they're going to stay there. They've jumped off the colonist track in order to gain a peerage. Okay, but it's in place. So they've got a ship, they've got peerage. They're building up their character, I guess. Finally, the Courlanders, who took this card. Now, they are certainly not the most loyal. I haven't even looked at this card. All right, so they're all the way over here. This is most loyal. They are in fact least loyal, and they don't really need this card. Oh, we'll give them a free ship. And they need a ship. I think that's why they took it. So look, I'll play this, but they don't get the title. Instead, they get the top ship card for its ship, and we can lock that in. Conquistador. They have a sway of 2, so they can do one more action, and it's either going to be a letter of marque. If you have less than 3 ships, which I do, move an opponent's privateer of their choice. Okay, so I'm stealing someone's ship. The alternative is the hourglass here, which is move any fleet. No, so I want to steal someone's ship. This is a nasty one. Who seems to be in the lead? The Spanish don't have a smuggler, so it's going to be the French or the English. The English seem to be doing quite well, so let's steal their privateer, which is really going to upset the English. So I'm stealing their privateer. Unlock it. It's a letter of marque. If you have less than 3 ships, which I do, move an opponent's privateer of their choice from their playmat into your playmat. I'll fix it up in a moment. Pay them $1 and remove one of their ship tokens. So poor English. And the Courlanders suddenly find themselves with 2 ships. And now when you have 2 ships, I believe you pick one to be your flagship. Now, do I want to be a conquistador or a privateer? What is the distinction? I think the main thing is what you do with with your treasure when you return it back to Europe. Okay, what happens? Conquistadors and privateers are both exactly the same. In terms of how they get these things, the Spanish can load the flagship. The Conquistador can load chess by sacking. I think the privateer is probably a bit better because the Conquistador will have to sack. Yeah, okay. Or during a peace anyway. We're at peace at the moment. So what I'm going to do is put my privateer as my flagship. So I follow the rules of a privateer. Okay, sorted. So Courlanders have gone from no ships to 2 ships in one turn. And what else? Oh, what did they play? They played this, which nudges them. No, they didn't play that. They played that card, which nudges them down. Right? They get a free ship and the letter of marque, and that's their 2 actions. Yes. So free ship there, letter of marque, nudging down, and unfortunately they have no. Oh, but. Right. Whenever they get a ship, they get. Whenever you get a ship, you get a haven card, right? I think. Again, the rulebook is just a bit all over the place. Everything's here, it's just... Where did I read about building, getting a new ship? I'm pretty sure whenever you get a new ship, does it not say it on the board? Yep, draw 1 haven when entering. So I draw 2 haven cards. 1, 2. And what that lets me now do is play this haven card to get a marriage and go there. Back onto the track. Okay. I don't really know what the advantages of being on the track are, aside from, I guess, being eligible for victory points. What else? I haven't quite, maybe I've missed that. All right. Crewlanders are done. Play phase is done. We now sail, starting with the English. Now they have lost their boats, so they skip this phase entirely. The French have a boat. So, sail phase. Not a lot they can do. I think they just move. I'm going to check the rules. Sail phase, play phase, sail year. If starting in Europe, a fleet starting soon must move to pirating as its sail for this year. So basically these three just go, hey, look, now we're in pirating, and they draw a haven card and that ends their turn. So we have the French, the Dutch, and the Spanish, each drawing 1 haven card. That's all that happens. The Kurlanders, however, with their brand new ships, come sailing out. They pick up, they're not going to pick on the English anymore. They're going to grab that, and their other ship is going to grab, we'll grab some Spanish stuff, and they come back to Europe. Now, again, they are privateers, so when they return to, and they can do this in, because they're privateers, they can do this in peacetime, legally, right? If they were conquistadors, they would have to sack it, which I haven't quite gone through in detail yet. And then when I arrive, conquistadors and privateers, I get a reward of $2 for each chest. So the Kurlanders now get 4 coins, very nice. And I can adjust the value of the mercantilism dice. And again, they want this to be low. So they'll reduce that by 1. Oh, but they've done it twice. Okay. It says you get a reward of $2 for each chest, and then may adjust the value by 1 step. It doesn't say 1 step per chest. Yes. So it's only once. So it only goes down once, not twice. All right. Done. That is the Kurlanders. So they've really caught up quite fast. Okay, and that's another end of the year. All right, next turn. We go back to the start with our goods year. We've got tobacco and salt. So first of all, we update player order. It's still a piece, so most loyal is the English, so the English go first, and then the Spanish swap places with the French. And then player order is retained down the end there because it's the same as last turn. Cathedral, populate each vacant cathedral with a citizen. This is where cathedrals are handy, right? So if they're used, they'll repopulate. No omens for this year. Labour acquisition. Okay, so to prevent die-off, each vacant colony acquires labour. So we do English first. So we have a vacant colony here. So they will populate their cathedral, their colony. The colony owner pays $1 salary to the owner. So it's my own person repopulating that. so I don't get paid. And that's all for the English. Now the Spanish have their turn before the French, which means that they either acquire, this is mandatory if no other source, so you must do that unless you can do this. So the Spanish, the Spanish have to take the French people and they pay the French $1 to employ their labour. The colony owner pays $1 salary to the owner of the hired citizen. And then the French kidnap somebody from a tribal site, which is the only other remaining because they've lost their people. Okay. But the cathedral will refresh each goods year, whereas this doesn't automatically. All right, so, sorry, what else do the Spanish have to do? Any other empty Spanish colonies? This is empty. So the Spanish colony now dies off. All right, the Spanish have lost their first colony. And I think that's it. So there are no other empty colonies. Sorry, hold on, privateers. These should go into the war chest, right? Because they were delivered by privateers. Placed into the war coffers, yep. So the kings are getting a lot of treasure. Making the English pretty happy because, well, they need a peerage or a relic, and for that to be full. Okay, losing track of things now. That was, that was colonies. Goods phase is, I think, complete. Oh, the goods to be placed is salt and tobacco. Okay, so we get a salt down here, and they're gone. And tobacco up here, like so. I believe that's it. And if a chest is placed at a colony that has citizen labour, well, neither of those with citizen labour. All right, so auctioneer. English first. Now, what do the English want? Oh, we want to flip the top card first, see what we get. Okay, anything here look attractive? How much money have the English got? 1 coin. One coin. Oh, they need a ship. They just lost their ship. So let's get this. And the icons are, I'll never even remember these. Keys. Is there any letter of marque? Because that'd be fantastic. Free ship down here. That's a letter of marque. And a relic, but no ship. This is a great card. The letter of marque would let them get a ship. Number of cards drawn. They only draw 1. They can do 2 actions though. Most loyal. Well, they would be the most loyal. That would give them the peerage. Oh, this is a good card. So they're going to auction this off. They're going to bid their 1. The problem is anyone else going to outbid them? Most loyal. Well, nobody else is more loyal. But the peerage and the relic is really interesting. The Spanish have bid 1 because they like that card too. The Dutch aren't interested in. Oh, they have a peerage. They just need tax rebels now, and this does not help them get tax rebels. They need missions out. So the Dutch won't bid on that one. They're not interested. The French, I don't think they're interested, and the Courlanders with a lot of money. They're worried about having their pirate ships taken, and they know they've got more money than everyone else. So they're like, and there's a relic there, and they don't want a peerage or a relic. So the Courlanders will say, we'll bid 2, and the poor English are outbid, and the Courlanders take that card, and that's the English. Oh, but. So they pay 2 because that was the English turn. This hasn't happened before. They give the money to the English. Because the English were auctioning off that card. It's interesting. I think it's the first time that the non-initiator has lost the auction. Now the English have money, and it's a Spanish turn. And what do the Spanish need? The Spanish would love some more monasteries, cathedrals. So they need this. Lets them build a cathedral. This discards an indigenous to add a slave rebel. They don't really want that. It might be worth them digging into. Oh, hold on. The Spanish are on this thing, which is peerages or relics. Oh, there's a peerage. Least loyal. Well, they're kind of a long way from being the least loyal. So that doesn't help them either. It also moves them north into a mutiny. Oh no, it'll move them up into this space. So will the mission. The Spanish have got their ships. They don't really need a ship. They don't really need more colonies. I think they just go for a dig at the missions and see what they can find. So we're going to dig here. No one knows what they're bidding on. However, the English have more money than everyone else. Look, I don't think they're going to bid because they don't know what they're bidding on. The Spanish will bid 1. The Courlanders could beat them, but they're going to wait until their turn to secure a card that they want. So the Spanish will get that card for 1 without knowing what it is. It's terrible. Oh, the poor Spanish. Okay. And everyone's thinking the English who could have bid 3 are thinking, yep, we dodged a bullet there, and the Courlanders are thinking the same thing. All right, now the French over here. The French have got their ship coming, all right, and they're up first. Having another, what are they after again? They are after, here's their mission, missionary, a peerage relic, no slaves on the map. Okay, well, slave numbers are certainly dwindling. They need a peerage. Least loyal. They're not too far from being least loyal, but that will get them off this track. So they might go digging as well. We don't know what it is. They'll bid their 1. They won't bid. The Spanish can't bid. And the English and the Courlanders won't bid either. So the French will purchase this card for 1. Ooh, and it's a good one. Most righteous, which the French are. So beautiful pick by the French. So this card, to play this peerage, it gives them the ability that in a land zone with your colony, vacant colonies are not allowed to kidnap. In a land zone, so that means that here, for example, the Spanish won't be able to kidnap from tribal sites or vistas, which means that the Spanish colony might be on its last legs as a result of getting that out when they get it out. Now we get to the Dutch, and the Dutch have got the ships coming. The Dutch aren't producing anything yet, but they are very close to the Courlanders on tax rebels. Okay, geez, nothing really helps them, does it? And nothing moves to the right. This is down, down, or up, or up. Poor Dutch. Another ship. They've got a conquistador. They've got their peerage, so any of the actions are available if they're not Callow. Maybe some more production opportunities, more colonies out, get some more sway as well. So next to produce is cocoa, there's no space, or tobacco, there's no space. No, it's not tobacco, cocoa or pearls. There is a spot here. All right, so we could get some pearls out, we could get a colony out. What else would the colony? It'd replenish the area as well. Hats and crowns. Does anybody have hats and crowns? No. Look, we could go for a colony and just maybe dig without knowing what it is. Let's try that. So the Dutch will bid 1. Now at this stage, with only 2 rounds left, the English are thinking there's going to be some colonies. Do the English want more colonies? Yeah, they could do with more colonies. So the English are going to try and trump the Dutch. So they're going to bid 2. The Dutch can only afford 1. So the English are going to buy this card. And it's a good one, 2 colonies. So they didn't know what that was, but they avoided the previous gamble. They gambled on this one. And the poor Dutch have not much to go on. All right, the Courlanders, though, with a bit of money, they're up. They've got their 2 ships in Europe, so they won't be pirating this turn. They'll be getting a relic. Maybe they do want another ship. Do the Kurlanders just really focus on getting some ships out? Conquistador. That would move them away from here. I reckon they just kind of get another ship out. That way they'll have one in pirating and they can just rotate. They'll be shipping every turn. So they're going to auction this ship. They can, what, 0, 1, 0. Oh, sorry. So the English spent 2. So the Dutch get 2. Oops, wrong way. And now the Kurlanders will bid their 2. And the Dutch, who really want a card, are looking at this and they're thinking it's probably not worth. They don't know what the Kurlanders are bidding. But they're thinking it's probably not worth more than 2 because they can't do much with that. Excommunication doesn't really help. The move any fleet from Europe to pirating. Oh, that wouldn't help them either because they're already there. What are the Dutch trying to achieve? They just want to get their ships out and about. Peerage, they've got their peerage. They just need some tax rebels, which this card won't help produce. But it will give them a ship. Another ship. I think I might save their money, because otherwise, yeah. So the Kurlanders will win that for 2. Kurlanders get 2 cards this turn, and the poor Dutch get nothing. And don't have much to do. Alright. That is the auction phase. Now we play, starting with the English. And the English are going to play their colony card. They can do 2 things. And this is where colonies will help. They could also literacy, convert a vista, but they don't want to do that. And they could get a letter of marque. Well, they've lost their ship, so maybe... What's a second? Oh, look at that. If I get a second colony out, so the 2 colonies, it increased my hand limit and sway, or do 1 colony, and where did I say I was going to do it? Curacao, right? Yeah. Now what's the order here? We acquire labour first. Then produce goods. So they'll grab their labour first and then it'll produce. Okay, so we might do that. That's going to happen next turn because this is where we are. We're going to produce this straight away. Colony, and then... Look, I need a ship, so... As tempting as it is to get another colony out there, I'm going to get a letter of marque. I'm going to move an opponent's privateer of their choice, all right? Taking the Kurlanders, which was mine originally, and make it my flagship. Welcome back, folk hero Piet Hin. All right, I have to give them, right, letter of marque. I have to give them $1. So the Kurlanders get some more money and remove 1 of their ship tokens. All right, so their ship token becomes my ship token. My ship token goes in piracy because it's a new ship. I get a letter of marque. All good. Little letter of marque, a haven card. And that is the English turn, I think. Oh, they had to bump up 1. Nudge, not bump. That's a colony. I'm putting these things in the wrong area. No, that's mission. That's mission, that's mission, that's a sale card. Where'd that card go? Here it is, colony. All right, so they nudged out of there, which isn't really a big issue. Yeah. Okay. So we've done everything. Not much to do, but done. Now the Spanish. All right, so they have got a pretty crappy card. They are going to nudge up 1 and then play a Bible. Play a Bible under an indigenous tribe. Under an indigenous at a tribal site. Okay, well, this is coming up, so let's do that. Right, so that way they're coming from maybe I can get a cathedral out quickly. Not much else happening, just that. And that is another mission card. These are popular cards. And do I want to play this to get back on that track? I kind of do, I guess, so I'll get back on there. And we're done. One of the reasons for that is to get out of range of the Dutch in case they want to sword fight me and move around. All right, Spanish are done. French. Here we go with the French. Now they are quite happily on that track, and that'll move them further to that track. Okay, so this is an interesting one. They are the most righteous, so they can play this as a peerage, and we'll lock that on. All right, so you can see there, the top left, Protector of the Indians, most righteous. Move the... Oh, hold on a sec. I didn't think I did this. I played it, but I didn't do it. Move the top disc from your playmat sway to cover this icon on the royalty card. Okay, so that increases Dutch sway. Likewise, move the top Bible to cover this. So they do that. And they can do one other thing. It can be literacy. Now they don't have any other visitor. Change a citizen to your colour in a land zone where you have a colony or mission. Right, this is the only place, and that is not counted as a citizen. So I can't do that. I guess, what's the other one? The hourglass is move any fleet from Europe to pirating. I don't want to do that either. So the French not doing a lot with this card, just the one thing. Change the citizen to your colour in a land zone where you have a colony or mission. Right, well, they don't have many colonies. I've only got one, both in the same area, so yeah, not a lot I can do there. So the French are done. The Dutch. As I said, cannot do anything. They could move to a vacant marriage spot. So we could fly. Ooh, I could fly all the way over here and almost win the game. One peerage and walk off is full. Let's do that. Let's fly over there. We can move to any marriage spot, with just any vacant marriage spot. I've just done that. Now I'm ahead of the English. Interesting. We'll see what happens. And finally, the Courlanders, who have 2 cards to play. Right, well, they will play this for another ship, which they place in pirate. No, hold on. When you place a new ship, it's pirating unless you have ships in Europe, I think. Oh. Building, what is it? A new anchor symbol. I don't know, the rules for this could be anywhere. Anchor place card into the ship or peerage. Yep, doesn't say much about that. Okay. Here we go. Ships. Sea battles. No. Loading treasure. Loading stuff. No. I just want to know what happens when I build a ship. Okay. I'm not acquiring labour. I'm not bearing treasure. I'm not engaging in debauchery. I am just trying to play a ship. Add the ship to your ship slot. Okay. Place your new galleon token to join your fleet. Okay, so I have to join the fleet. So they all have to sail together. So the Courlanders can't actually consciously split them up. Not to worry. You have to keep your fleets together. Right, all in one go. Okay. Where were we? What was I going on there? Okay, building a ship. I have got 2 sway, so I'm going to do one more thing, and it's either excommunication, somebody with fewer peerages and relics, nobody's fewer than me, or hourglass, which is move any fleet from Europe to pirating. Move any fleet. This is a fleet, right? And its owner draws a haven card. Let's do that. Done. Then I'll play this card. Am I the most loyal? I don't think I am. I'm the opposite. I'm the least loyal. So I can't play that for that, but I can play it for the letter of marque and a relic. So let's do that. I've got 2 sway. So letter of marque is again, if I have less than 3 ships, move an opponent's privateer. Hello, England. Goodbye, England. Remove their ship. I'm going to pay them $1, which I have. And I have a large fleet of 3 ships now over there. And the English are not going to be happy about that. Then I can place a relic. Relic. Add a relic token to any colony. This is tough though, because somebody can just grab my relic. If I put it there, right, it's in my colony. We'll see what happens. I don't know the implications, but I suspect somebody else is just going to get it. Oh, and I nudged to the left. Okay, not to worry. That's now done. But then I'll play the ring card to go back on the wedding space. And this is a royalty card. Nobody's taken a we don't discard ship cards because everyone wants to play them. That should be revealed. And that's it. Everyone's done. Courlanders are done. They've got 3 ships. I think their flagship is still a privateer. I think it's the best ship to have. Okay. That's the play. Now we sail. Sailing with the English. They have no ship. Poor English. The Spanish, however. Now we've got to be careful because I guess if the Dutch are kind of, are they in a winning position? I think. Is this how you win the game? By you have to be. Is it at the? Yeah, you have to be an extreme. I think so. They have to be. Let's just check how you win the game. In a game, you win instantly if you are an extremist. To be an extremist, you have to be in the most positions. Okay, so the Dutch aren't in the extreme position yet, but they'll probably be looking for that. That said, the Spanish have no money and they desperately need money, so we're going to take our ship. What are we going to grab? Do we want the relic? Can I grab both? Loading treasure and relics. A relic can be loaded by in a friendly port owner or in any port by smuggling or sacking. So what do the Spanish have got? A smuggler. The Spanish want to, this is what they're on this track. So the Spanish are going for that relic. Okay, so legality, I'm a smuggler. Loading a relic. A relic can be loaded by legal export, except at a friendly port. Or in any port, not covered here, it says, or in any port by smuggling, and I am a smuggler. So basically I'm going to come over here to find this relic, I'm going to smuggle it, oh, do I have to pay? It says pay separately. The flagship loads treasure by paying $1. Oh, I can't pay the bribe because I've got no money. No money at all. If I just had $1. So instead, I will come and collect some treasure from, here we go, load up our tobacco, bring it back home to Europe. When we get there, because we're a smuggler, the treasure's mine. I gain $4 for each chest, which I place in my own coffers. So that doesn't help the Dutch anyway. So $4 for me. It's more profitable to be a smuggler. And the chest doesn't go to the king. Done. French. All right, the French come out with their boat. Now the French have no money either. And what are they trying to do again? They just want a relic. They would love a relic. But they'll come and collect their treasure. Okay, it's not their treasure. They'll return it. Now they are a privateer. So that actually goes to the king. They'll get 2 coins. And they can adjust the value of the mercantilism dice. So I'm going to push that up again. Actually, no, we're not far from it. I may adjust it. 1 peerage relic. Well, I do actually have that. So maybe if I lower it, I can look to shift across, because I don't know how, it's going to be hard to get no slaves on the map, but getting a few rebels out there, through this action here, for example, might be more feasible. So the French are done. Yep. Now the Dutch. The Dutch, here they are. Now they are going for now war coffers full. So they just want to grab these. Oh, hold on, what kind of ship have they got? Oh, Conquistador, which is the same as a privateer. It goes to the king. So it doesn't matter who they take it from. They'll take it from the Spanish here. Return. It goes in the king's war chest. The Dutch get 2 coins. They're pretty loaded up now. And they return. So once this is full, they can try and get to the most loyal and win the game. Yep, that's what they're hoping for. And if your actions are possible, they have no actions. And now finally the Courlanders with their fleet of 3. Right, well they have got their relic, 1. They'll pick up that chest for the English, 2, and there's nothing else to pick up. And they are going with privateers, so, ooh, 2 coins for the Courlanders. And when they return it, they can reduce the mercantilism dice. It's on 1. Okay, and they get their relic. So they will add that to their coffers because they want a relic. And that counts as a peerage for victory purposes. So that's a relic, peerage or relic. So they're not far off either. So we've got the Courlanders, the Dutch, and the French in this vicinity. The Spanish, they've got 1 relic. They need 1 more, and then just get here. So they're not far off either. I think the English, who have been doing pretty well, now find themselves with no ships, nothing. It's funny how the tides turn. And that is the end. That's the end of the turn. And I'll start to wrap it up here. So, what are we in? We're about 4 turns in. 8. We're a third of the way through the game. Still in peace, but this is the last turn of peace. Then we have the start of the 30 Years' War, where player order sort of goes from most righteous. Okay, so the Spanish might suffer if they're looking out at the Buccaneers. Right, we've got a few empty colonies. Some of those will fill. In fact, most of those will fill. That'll fill there, that'll fill there. That'll fill there. So yeah, there'll be no colony disbandment, I don't anticipate. But look at the money now. The Dutch and the Spanish have got a lot of money. Dutch are going to need it. They need to buy some things. Poor English are going to struggle with $1. And I think the French and Courlanders will have to watch for opportunities. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.